to my beautiful world. I think I'm going to call this video something like "Stop Expecting Capitalism to Care About Your Art" or something like that. We are painting a rainbow today, a fabulous glittery rainbow. Let me explain. I want to give a shout out here to a beautiful human being named Maurice Harris. He is on Instagram, and his Instagram username is Bloom and Plume, and you should all be following this person on Instagram if you are a creative person. If you are an artist trying to figure out how to just be a functional human being in the world right now, this video is for you. I'm going through a lot of that right now. A lot of people are. It's a common thing. It's a creative struggle. Artists, we like to get real heavy and dramatic about it and feel sorry for ourselves about the fact that we live in a world that doesn't exactly value who we are and what we do. But don't despair, don't get victimized, don't feel sad and give up, and don't start blaming society for your financial problems, okay? Let's talk about this for a minute. Go follow Maurice Harris. On his Instagram, he does a thing called Capitalism Doesn't Care About Your Creativity, where he talks a lot about just, financial life as a creative human. Whether you think of yourself as an artist, whether you're like a visual artist or a musician or you make videos, whatever you do. Let me get started on this painting here before I start talking too much. So I'm gonna paint some kind of a rainbow. This is gonna be a great video for my highly neurodivergent peeps out there. We're gonna just get in here and finger paint. I just wanna do something very tactile. I rearranged my whole damn life to get this camera angle and this lighting today. And if this doesn't look good, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm not playing games anymore here. I want to take these videos really seriously. I want my videos to look good and be cool and be useful and beautiful in the world. I want to make some art that people actually enjoy and engage with. I'm not out here just trying to make things for my own amusement. And that is the constant struggle of being a creative person is, I'm not trying to talk to an empty room here. Do you experience this? When I say me, I mean you. I mean all of us. Like, none of us are out here trying to be people in the world, making YouTube videos, posting things on Instagram, painting pictures, writing songs. None of us are out here trying to do this stuff just to yell into an echo chamber of our own minds, right? We want the world to respond to us. And when the world doesn't, we get very discouraged and we start to feel victimized and we start to feel sad and we start to say, poor me, I am an artist and the world just doesn't value art and there's nothing I can do about it. And I'm not going to tell you you're wrong about that. The world doesn't value art in a certain way. But when we say the world, we mean a certain, I'm loving this neon. Look at this. Oh, I hope the lighting is good and you can see this the way I'm seeing it. Oh, it's so glorious. When we say the world, what we really mean is just the sort of structural, systemic capitalist world that frankly could just crumble and fall apart all around us, and as weirdo arty creative types we wouldn't really care, right? Like I wouldn't care if a whole bunch of corporations just collapse. Like what have they done for me lately? Like I have a job for a large company. I do talk about wanting to get a new job an awful lot on this channel because I do want a better job and I want to do something that makes me want to jab my eye out with a stick a little bit less. But I appreciate the fact that I have a job. I don't mind working for a living at all. And I think this is a great misconception the world kind of has about artists. Because we tend to get a little bit crybaby and whiny and victimized, and we tend to be a little bit lost and feel sad because our skills are not valued. I think there's some validity to that, and I think there's also some validity to the world's point that's like, when people are like, can you just grow up and get a job and pay your bills like everybody else? I understand what they mean, and I am an adult. I do pay my bills. It is one of the wonderful benefits of being in the phase of life that I am in right now. I don't have an option to like quit my job just to pursue making YouTube videos right now. That's not a reasonable choice that's available to me. And I'm glad it isn't because, you know, I don't think it would end well for me right now. I don't think I have a good enough plan. But I want to speak for a moment. So without getting too victimized and too sad and falling too far down this rabbit hole of poor me, the world just doesn't understand me, without us doing too much of that today, I do want to speak to the reality that capitalism does not give a fuck about your art, your creativity, or your expression, or art in general. We do live in a world that doesn't value creativity. And as creative people, what do we always want? If you're like a YouTuber, a painter, a singer, a dancer, what do we want? We want to be really financially successful. We want to be famous. We want to make it big. And we're really, really taught that that's the only way to be an artist. And I want to speak to that here, okay? Why is it that we want this fame and fortune so much? I mean, beyond the surface stuff, yeah, it would be cool to, I don't know, be able to buy a yacht or something, have a big house, not have to worry about paying your bills. That would be cool. But ultimately, I think creative people are really out seeking fame and fortune and financial success and to be able to run businesses ourselves because we want to feel validated by the world. Because the only time the world we live in at large, and by the world I mean like the system, as it were, sort of corporations, governments, schools, the larger systemic world, not people on an individual level. On an individual level, people love art, they appreciate it, you know? But I'm talking about like the system, as it were, okay? The only time the capitalist machine really acknowledges or puts any value on creativity is when it's making them money. The only time when we look out in the world, we look at social media, pop culture, whatever, the only time we look out in the world and we see creative people being valued in that kind of structure is when they are making a lot of money for somebody else, you know? And I think that causes us at an early age to start thinking that the answer to this, I feel like a weirdo in the world and I feel like I don't belong and I'm wrong in a bunch of ways. I don't know about you, but I personally grew up feeling like I was wrong in a whole variety of ways. It's normal. It's very normal to grow up feeling a little bit outcasty. I think possibly more people do than don't. I'm not saying that makes me special. I'm saying it doesn't make me special. I think looking out in the world and just having a desire to feel valued, to just have a little damn validation in the world. We got it in our heads at a very young age that the way to have value in this world was to become famous, was to become rich, was to have some great successful business selling our paintings in galleries because that was going to make us valuable somehow. And the reality is we are born valuable. We're already valuable. We do not have to prove to anybody that we have this great value. We don't have to do that. And that is the thing I have learned in the last couple years, going through all the trauma and all the grief and all the nonsense I've gone through with this whole big life move, change, all this stuff that I kind of vaguely make reference to on this channel all the time. That's really what I've learned, is that there is no value in trying to be anybody other than me in this world. Because the truth is, even if I wanted the rewards that, the sort of corporate capitalist traditional world has to offer, even if I wanted that stuff, I'm not getting it from them. I can have a corporate job, and that's fine, and I don't mind doing it. but I don't care about it. I don't like it. And I see so many other people. I have friends and I see people on these little websites, women in technology and, all these jobs, websites out there that are supposed to help you get these jobs. I see other people out there, women specifically, posting like 12 paragraph essays about, this thing that happened at their job and how they were so upset because they felt like they weren't being valued, and then they moved to another department and they're asking for advice about their careers. And it's like, I just can't imagine taking the time out of my day. I just got dirt all over my rainbow. I don't even know where it came from. Oh well. I just can't imagine caring enough about a W-2 job for a corporation to write that many words and post them on the internet in my free time. I can't and I have no disrespect if you do, and I truly mean that. I'm not trying to pit people against each other. I'm not trying to say I'm special somehow, okay? I honestly just don't get that, and I've come to understand about myself that it's okay not to get that. It's okay not to play that game. It doesn't make me wrong because I don't care about a job in that way. I will never care about my paid employment that way as long as it's for a company that's, just like selling widgets out there. Some people really do. They're just different from me, and it's okay. It's okay that different things make people tick. Different people, it's okay. I don't have to get huffy and defensive about it, I don't have to be like, look at me. I am so much more righteous than all of these corporate fucks because I am an artist and I have artistic integrity or whatever it is, It's just, I have to recognize in myself that my sense of personal fulfillment in this world is never going to come from a job the way everybody told me it was when I was younger. I don't care. Some people really, I found glitter. I'm just trying to be a human in the world who connects with other humans and is creative and gets her bills paid. What does financial success mean? It might mean something different to me than it does to somebody else. Does it have to be a full-time job? Not necessarily. Does it have to be the only thing I do to make money to be valid? That's another thing artists get into sometimes. When people are professional artists, I know a lot of people, musicians particularly, get this way sometimes. People feel like they're not really an artist, they're not really a musician, they're not really a professional if they have a job doing something else. Look, lots of people have multiple streams of income. I'm a big believer in multiple streams of income, especially if you're a creative person. In the sense that the corporate financial world does not really value your creativity. You're not wrong about that. But you don't need them to. You don't need to be validated by money and big corporations and being really popular on Instagram and having a bunch of brand deals with corporations, to be valid and valuable. Sweetie, you're already valuable. You're valuable right now. You have value. What you need to do is make your art and put it out in the world and be there and just give what you have to offer. And the people who can connect with it will. You have to go forward in faith that when you put your authentic expression out in the world, it is going to find an audience and things are going to work out. If you were hoping I was going to tell you to go ahead and quit your job to pursue being a full-time painter, I'm not going to tell you that. I don't know your situation. I don't know if it's okay for you to quit your full-time job or not. Your job isn't everything. When we get this idea in our heads that paid employment is all of who we are, we're sort of letting that system we're kind of working against win. Maybe your identity as an artist will be found through your occupation, your occupation that actually pays your money. Maybe it won't. But if you have something in you that needs expression, get out and express it. Because life is short. Because you're gonna die. You're gonna be gone at some point. Don't die without doing the thing. Don't die without doing something because you're afraid it's never gonna make you money or other people aren't gonna praise you for it. For people you know who don't place any value on your creativity, who think everything you do artistically is frivolous and stupid, there's no amount of money you can make that's going to change their mind about that. They're just different from you. It doesn't make them bad people. They're just not wired the same way as you. And it's a good thing that not everybody is wired like me, or possibly you, okay? Every time I go to a doctor, I think to myself, thank God. Like, I am so grateful that there are people in the world who want to be physicians because I benefit from that. I have spent way too much time in my life thinking that those people were superior to me because I saw them getting financially rewarded. This is my incredibly not great painting for today because the truth is my art form is really making videos, not paintings, let's be honest.